The truth behind high-protein diets. Most of the people reading this probably remember the big diet fad known as the Atkins diet. At the time, it was considered to be a brilliant new way to eat and lose weight. Bacon and eggs were no problem at all, so long as no toast or juices were consumed. Bacon cheeseburgers were fine, without the buns, ketchup, or fries. The dill pickles were also forbidden. It seemed too good to be true, that a diet would allow so much red meat, bacon, and cheese. Could a body really do well without any complex carbohydrates? The answer turned out to be no, of course. The diet was fairly easy to follow, at least at first, because there were so many high-fat foods that people loved to eat on the Atkins diet acceptable list. After 2 or 3 weeks, it became a bit more difficult. Dieters reported crashing energy levels and irritability. As their bodies became starved for carbohydrates, they discovered that losing weight was not the only thing to worry about. They wanted to lose weight and not feel completely miserable in the process. Even now, all the long-term health problems caused by the Atkins diet and similar diet plans are still being discovered. A high-protein diet does not have to be unhealthy, however. Just take a reasonable approach, one that is easier to follow and less taxing to the system. How much protein is enough? There is a fairly simple formula for determining how much protein a given individual needs, once all the variables have been figured into the process. Basically, the average person should have about 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight daily. If you aren't sure how much you weigh in kilograms, take your weight in pounds and divide it by 2.2. That is the number you will divide by 0.9 to get how much protein you should consume. This number, however, can change, depending upon your activity level. Someone who is very active will need more protein, while someone who doesn't engage in much physical activity at all will need less. It's also important to take your general condition of health into account. Some health conditions will require still more protein and some will require less. High-protein diets will not push the average level to much more than the standard 0.8. Even most bodybuilders only have about 1.5 to 1.7 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight in order to bulk up. It takes more than protein to power and build those muscles. They need other nutrients, dedication, and a whole lot of hard work. It doesn't hurt that most of them are genetically predisposed to building muscle either. How much is too much? High-protein diets generally have about 30% of its calories in protein, which the other 70% go into fats and carbohydrates. A daily protein level of about 35% and a fat intake of about 15% is a good tactic for losing weight. Protein acts as an appetite suppressant, helping the body to feel full for longer periods of time. Above 35%, protein can become problematic. Excesses can lead to health problems as serious as heart disease, high blood pressure, kidney disease, kidney stones, and gallstones. Not only should protein be no more than 35% of daily calories, but the protein should come from the best sources, lean meat or plant sources. Protein supplements for a necessary boost. Most people are fairly aware of foods that are healthy and those that are unhealthy, but that doesn't mean they always pick the healthy choices. Often, it's just because so many are too busy to sit down and actually eat something, so they resort to fast food, or skip meals entirely. For these busy people, a protein supplement may be the answer to a more nutritious diet, and certainly a better alternative than missing meals entirely. Protein supplements come in many forms for their many purposes, such as ProfectR, made by Protica. ProfectR is tiny, but it has a high amount of protein, with no carbohydrates and no fats, at only 100 calories. Protica now offers ProsAIS as well, the first all-natural protein supplement. ProfectR and ProsAIS come in a number of sizes, including a single serving. They also come in a number of delicious flavors so you can enjoy taking the protein you need on a daily basis and have a little variety when you feel a craving for something different. High protein and good health. Protein supplements such as ProfectR and ProsAIS are not the only healthy ways to get protein. Plenty of good protein can be found in foods such as skinless roasted turkey breast, salmon, and eggs. Dairy products such as milk, yogurt and cheese are high in protein, as are soy and a number of other plant-based sources. The high-protein diet. Many people rushed into the Atkins diet when it first became popular, eating only the foods approved or licensed by the program, plus all the red meat, eggs, cheese, and other approved food they wanted. Many of them lost a lot of pounds, at first, and then a cravings for potatoes, corn on the cob and other forbidden foods set in. They also started to notice their tempers were quite a bit shorter. As the weeks passed, the process became intolerable. There are probably some people reading this who remember being hardly able to get out of bed, being unable to exercise. The weight loss stops. Digestion backs up. You felt generally sick. There is a point where it's just easier to return to the old habits, which means the return of the old weight, and probably a little more added to that. There are better high-protein diet plans. They involve leaner source of protein and vastly lower amounts of calories. They also include the complex carbohydrates everybody needs to function properly. This kind of diet will make weight loss slower, but it will also be a steadier and healthier loss. Once this weight is gone, it will also be easier to keep it off. Using ProfectR as a between meal snack can be a big help, keeping you full until the time comes for the next healthy, balanced meal.